Hi Internet, I'm John Appleseed. Welcome to our YouTube channel where we do a daily crossword puzzle. I've got something a little different today. I'm recording this on Sunday, the 28th of September. In the previous day's New York Times, Saturday, there was an article about the death of Mel Taub. You can see his obituary is linked up here at the top of this page. Mel Taub was a crossword constructor. He had a particular specialization. There was a puzzle called puns and anagrams, which is a little bit different from a normal crossword puzzle like is regularly featured in Times or like I regularly feature here on this channel. They had 3 sample puzzles in the article. I tried one, and it took me a little bit of time to figure out how the clues were working, but I did manage to solve it with no hints or without looking anything up. So I think I may be able to do this second one in a reasonable amount of time. So the puzzle is called Puns and Anagrams. It was never published online. It was only published in the print version of the New York Times and in the weekend supplement that you might get, that you used to get with, with hard copy newspaper subscriptions. So all the answers are puns and anagrams. And like in a cryptic crossword, like you may see on a channel like Cracking the Cryptic, half of the clue is the synonym, and then the rest of the clue is fodder or feed for some kind of anagram or pun that answers the clue, and the clue can come at either end. So with that kind of guidance, which I knew from, I'm terrible at doing cryptic crosswords. I could never complete one myself, but oftentimes I'd say like maybe 5% of the time I can figure out a clue on its own. But I am pretty good at, once you tell me the answer, I can figure out how you got there from the clue, which isn't the way to solve a puzzle, obviously. But with that little rudimentary knowledge of cryptic crosswords, I was able to solve one of these puzzles. So let's try this one and see. So one across is hazards at the masters. So we may have an anagram of masters, and that is a word that is a synonym for hazards. So I don't know what it is, but it'll be something like that. And can I get into the puzzle? Can I navigate with the arrows? Okay, yes. So one across is hazards at the masters. Don't know. One down is got Sam teed off. No, 2 down. Do exact April payments using this. Not sure. I'm sure we'll get one where I can figure it out easier. A loner doesn't. If we anagram a loner, nope, X-rated solar disk. She's a wow upside down. Okay, so this is mom. If you took the word wow and turned it upside down, you'd get M-O-M, mom. So she's a wow upside down. The answer is a mom, and it involves an anagram, kind of an anagram, turning upside down, rather than turning it, reorganizing the order of the word, of the letters. A sign, Ken, is underhanded. I think assign Ken is our anagram fodder. If we can use those letters, can we think of a word sneaky or sneaking? We can anagram assign Ken to make the word sneaking, which might be something an underhanded person does. So hazards at the masters. So I'm thinking masters is our anagram fodder, M-A-S-T-E-R-S. So just masters. Hazards. No. Town that Bay Staters mock. So it has an O and an N in it. So town is probably part of our anagram fodder. No. Mexican tree is near the limit. So if we take the letters M-E-X-T-R-E-E, extreme would be near the limit. We can make extreme out of those two words, or those 7 letters, extreme, mex tree, follow as advice in canto. No. Work hard on limo. Nope. Imp's tail. And this might, there are puns in here, not always anagrams, so maybe it's ESS, the letter S, which is the tail of imps. 29 across is mocking rigid end. Rigid end. Deriding. I think that's rigid end. I'm not very good at anagrams. I often have to like write out what I think it is and then the original letters and then cross off the letters to make sure that they match. So I think deriding is correct. Got Sam teed off. It'll probably end in an ED. Got Sam. I'm thinking if we rearrange the letters of got Sam, we're rearranging the letters of teed off. I don't know what got Sam would mean. What are hazards that ends in MS? Anagramming the word masters. Steams? No. All right. If this is an S, exact. Do exact. Tax code. Do exact can be anagrammed to tax code, and your April payments are using the tax code. So the wording is, I'm not sure that I'm confident about what the informal rules for the wording is. Work hard on limo. So toil can mean work hard on limo. Moil. There is strange work done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. There is a word moil that means toil. Steamed is teed off. Got Sam teed off. So we are taking the letters from Sam, S-A-M. So it's Sam teed. Is that it? And then, see, I'm not sure, the words don't, or the rules aren't clear to me. I can see how we're getting steamed from the letters Sam teed, and then teed off is steamed or angry. As I understand the words from British style cryptics, you can't mix them like that. You can't use a word for anagram fodder and then have it be part of the definition. Although maybe you can, I don't know. So streams could be hazards on a golf course, water hazards. Okay, and that's masters anagrammed. Bay State is Massachusetts, isn't it? What is a town? Or is it mock? A loner doesn't enroll in a class or something. So we take loner, we anagram it to get something under a loner doesn't do. They don't enroll. Solar disk is like Amen? Like there's an Egyptian, or is it Aten? Oh, the X, maybe a Roman numeral 10 there. X rated would be a 10, and that is a solar disk, an Aten from Egyptian iconography. Taunton, where are we getting that from? There's no U. Truer, it is also more groovy. No. I like tax code. Act on is to follow advice. Canto is anagram to make act on. Imp's tail. More groovy. Ruttier. A road that has ruts in it, grooves, would be more groovy if it is ruttier. So how is imp's tail? EDE. Impede. EDE is a tail, or a suffix that can go on the end of imp to make the word impede. Okay, this is really difficult for me to figure out. Let's keep going. We've done 8 minutes and 30 seconds. The first one took me around 25 minutes, and I was struggling just about as much as I am here, trying to figure out kind of like the rules of how the wordplay works. 8 across, Met Radical was given a haircut. No, 8 down, no gals at this camp. 9 down is 5-hole dwelling. 5-hole. Abode could be dwelling. No. In Julia Roberts' role. Did she play a character that is an anagram of INRE? Not that I know. Lee the nag. That should be easy because it's only 3 letters. What Mark on a tear did. On a tear. Tied Mo to Esau, EG. So there were a couple clues ending in EG in the previous puzzle I did, and they ended up being letters that were used in the answer. So Esau, EG may be, Mo is a stooge. EG could be in stooged. Not sure. 14 down, gave 500 to Edna. Donated. So 500 in Roman numerals would be what? Is it D? And then D to Edna, I think makes donated. We get 2 Ds. Okay, so I think that's it. Gave is the synonym. 500, we put that in Roman numerals, D. I think that's right. So D to Edna can be anagrammed to make donated, which is a synonym for gave. Met Radical was given a haircut. No, 16 across. It's too darn destructive. Too darn could be tornado, I think. A D-O, tornado, is too darn. Yes, we got two O's and a T. Yes, 18 across, where Frenchmen in van go. In van go. $20 across is filmmaker in bifocal lenses. If we look at the letters in the words bifocal lenses, is there a filmmaker embedded in there? No, not that I can see. A toast to Lascaux. Okay, skål is a Swedish toast. Cheers. I don't know what it means literally, but it's what you say when you raise your glass, and we rearrange Lascaux to make skål, which is a toast. 27 across. What GI1 is outstanding? We take the letters GIWON, rearrange them to make owing, and it is what is outstanding. It is what you are owing. 21 down, loving led to being 100 or more. So maybe we got another Roman numeral in here, C for 100. Is it Congress or something? Nope, not getting that one. no gals at this camp. We take gals at, we get Stalag. Stalag, remember Hogan's Heroes? Stalag 13, I think they were at. Stalag was the Luftwaffe prison camp for prisoners of war. So no gals at could be anagrammed to Stalag, and there would be no gals at a male prisoner of war camp. 9 down is that. That's our 5-hole dwelling, hovel. So here we're using a Roman numeral V for 5. Or V goes there. We take 5 is the V, and then the letters H-O-L-E, rearrange them to make hovel, which is a dwelling. Met radical. A haircut could be, given a haircut could be sheared. Was given a haircut, like a sheep was sheared. So then how do we get met radical? Not getting that. We're Frenchmen in Van Gogh. So Avignon is an anagram of in Van Gogh. It's a city in France. And I guess it is where you might find Frenchmen. Again, I'm not quite sure of the wordplay. Where Frenchmen would not be a good clue for Avignon. Erin Brockovich was played by Julia Roberts. Yeah, that did not click at first. Let's try sheared and just see if I can figure out what it is. Met could be the Metropolitan Opera. No, Erin looks right. Lee, Ong Lee is a director. So we take Nag, rearrange it to make Ong, which is the first name of Lee, the director. What Mark on a tear did. So we've got an AR, maybe from Mark, and then, so maybe it's Mark on, ran amok. Could be something that somebody on a tear would do. Tied Mo to Esau. I want to say Esau was known as Edom in the Bible. Would that work? Follower of Pan. No. So maybe this is another suffix like our EDE over here. But I don't know what it would be. Hit or missed. We rearrange missed to get smit. Smit might be an archaic past tense of smite. Not smote would be how I think it would most commonly appear. Yeah, so maybe Edomite. I think Esau lived in the land of Edom. He was an Edomite. And tied Mo spells Edomite if we anagram it. All right, 28 across. He's to stay in sty. Variant. He's to. So we've only got 2 more letters. Shoat. Oh, shoat, S-H-O-A-T, is like a baby pig. So maybe there's a variant spelling, S-H-O-T. So he might be in a sty, a pigsty, and he's a shoat. All right, 31 across. Satisfied elks ad. And one thing I like about this better than those British cryptic crosswords is that we do have all the letters are checked. So I'm being helped here by knowing that K, E, and D are already in it because I've got the checking letters from other clues. So elks ad is probably what it is. So all I need to add is L-S-A, slaked. You can slake your thirst, satisfy your thirst. He's an Alan Ladd hero. Shane was the title of an Alan Ladd film. Where are we getting that? He's an is an anagram of Shane, which was a hero played by Alan Ladd. Shane, come back. You may be familiar with that line. So Woody Allen is a filmmaker, and Yes, it is what I thought it was. Bifocal lenses. The last two letters of bifocal and the first two letters of lenses spell Allen, Woody Allen. And that is a type of clue I have seen before in regular New York Times crossword puzzles and other puzzles. I think that isn't that unusual. Okay, but we've got the top half of the puzzle down in just under 20 minutes. 32 across, note sling for 1. No, 30 down, to sue is point of contention. Sue is an issue. Anagram sue is, we get issue, which is a point of contention. Hatred of MD, we. Leaving we, the French word for yes, we put in odium or mdoui, an anagram to make odium, which is a word for hatred. What is new at the pen? So I think our anagram fodder is new. Swine, another pigsty related clue. We've got a pig pen here. So swine would be a pig in the pen. So what at the pen? Swine, but we're anagramming is new. Note sling. So I think we're anagramming note sling. Sing notel. Singlet on. Singlet on. I have my singlet on. No. Loving led to being 100 or more. Long lived could be someone who is 100 or more years old. So that is loving led, and is just loving led, meaning being 100 more. So I don't know what the letters TO, the word to, is being in there, other than to just make it sound more grammatical. But I don't think that's allowed in the cryptic crosswords that are popular in the UK. So note sling, we need note, a singleton for 1. A singleton person would have a table for 1. And order orange juice for 1. It never entered my mind. So singleton looks right. 28 down. Would several pounds loss be noticed on them? I think this is loss. And then maybe like a letter L, an abbreviation for pound. Slobs? Or LB. LBs. LB loss. No, I'm not quite sure. I like slobs kind of as the answer. Makes me feel a little attacked personally. I could use loss of several pounds myself, and I'm a little bit of a slob. Maybe that's why I'm thinking that. 42 across promises a VW. So, a VW so is avows, which means promises. Scope yet of environmental groups. Eco. So I think we're taking scope and yet. I don't know. Meals. For old flight stewardesses are old flight attendants, or stews, they were known for short. And stews are meals. So this is a pun. So we've got a pun for meal, which is stew. And that is, we're taking the word stews, which are meals, and we're swapping it out for old flight attendants or stewardesses. So let's try slobs here and see if I can figure out what it is. I think LBS might be pounds, but then we've got maybe it's just B. Oh, it's loss B. We've got LOSS and then the word B, which is a pun for the letter B, and we get slobs. I guess. Okay. They have tips for scribe, e.g. So again, I think we're going to have e.g. in the answer. They have tips. Scribe, e.g. would be, don't know, 34 across. Chase, according to Grafton. Sue Grafton is a crime novelist, and pursue. Where are we getting the P-U-R from? Pursue, according to Grafton, would be P-E-R, Sue, Ms. Grafton, and that is a pun for, or a homophone for pursue, which means chase. Okay, now this is hard, but I can see how this is really, really fun. I wish the New York Times would do more puzzles like this. 41 across, Hector's milieu, mostly. So Hector's, I think we're taking most of the letters from milieu. Hector was a hero from the Iliad, Homer's Iliad, which took place in Ilium, and Hector was on the Trojan side, or the Ilian side, so his milieu, the place where he was found, would be Ilium, but we're only using most of milieu, so we're taking out the E, and we're getting Ilium. 34 down, P-I, cast ballots. All right, we've already got P-I in there. Ballots, if we put in cast, no. 35 down, I'll use them in poem. So I've got UL, so we're probably using I'll use them. Poem. Lenore and the Raven. Hall of House, okay. I don't know. 36 down, Perseus, rebels or rebels. We've already got an R and an I in there. So if we anagram Perseus, do we get rebels? Rises up. Yes, rebels, rises up. In which to save tulips. So this one, yeah, a vase is somewhere you would save tulips, and it is an anagram of save. Cast ballots is to vote, or voted, cast, past tense of cast, and pivoted. So P-I, cast ballots voted, gives us the word pivoted, which isn't suggested. The meaning pivoted isn't suggested in the clue. So again, a lot of things I'm just not quite getting. I'll use them. Eula. Oil of Olay. So here's a pun on oil of Olay. O-L-A-Y is the moisturizer cream, and I guess a bullfighter's cream would be oil of Olay, spelled like the bullfighting cry. Uses 50 T's in fights. .54 cross, flightless bird is an emu. Not on time, it's late. So we get emulate. Again, not suggest, well, not on time. Well, not on time is not suggested by emulate. Okay, so there's different types of clues. We've only got an S and an E. I don't know a word that uses those letters. 56 across, stopped sitting for an artist. Posed is you were sitting for an artist, but if you stop doing that, you deposed. Deposed could kind of be stopped sitting. You were thrown out of your seat. This must be a poem that I don't know. 51 down, traffic sign in Los Angeles. Slow is an anagram of los. And maybe like one of the signs on the freeway might say SLO. 48 down, Ted's predecessor is Gil. Ted's predecessor is Gil. Don't know that. 45 down ridge with a tree. A ret is a good crossword word for a kind of a bridge, of a ridge, like a mountain ridge. A crest is an arete or an arete. And a tree is found in that word, A-T-R-E-E. Made Abe sad and humble. Abased is made humble. Abe sad can be anagrammed to abased. Helps the beast. Helps means is abets, and it's an anagram of beast. He took historic photos by DAR, Daughters of the American Revolution. So we get BYDAR, by DAR, anagrams to Brady. Matthew Brady was a Civil War era photographer. Ted's predecessor is Gil. Uses 50 T's in fights. 50 in Roman numerals is LX. I think it's tissues. Issues could be fights. If we put T's in fights, maybe we get tissues. How are we putting 50 in there? I don't know. And I don't know BUAS. How does that get? It's Ted's predecessor is Gil. Eulalie might be, well, that doesn't fit either, does it? Tussles. Tussles are fights. 50 uses. L is Roman numeral 50, so we got uses LT. Uses LT gives us tussles, which are fights. So Ulalume must be the title of a Poe poem that I'm not familiar with, and we're missing an S though. All use them. We've got 2 U's and we're missing an S, but boy, I like tussles. If it's all use them, or maybe we've got 2 U's. So U in text speak could just be the letter U. If you had 2 of them, that would be pronounced use. So I think use is a homophone for UU. EM. ALL gives us Ulalume, which must be the title of a Poe poem, and tussles, and I think I've figured out how we're getting uses LT. We need another uses LTS, gives us tussles. Okay, wow. So I think this is eco scope yet. Ecotypes could be groups of environments, like a climate type, an ecotype, a type of ecology, type of biome. I think that's a word. So we're getting scope yet turning into ecotypes. They have tips for scribe. Ice. No, 43 across. Evenly. Instrument. A harp would be played by an angel. If you take the H out, as we're doing with evenly, you would get an arp. I don't understand that. Blank Flynn. Sea man. No. 49 across. They come in 1 pound pancakes. 1 lb pancakes. Maybe we've got ILB, the Roman numeral I. INILB, blini. INILB can be anagrammed to blini, which are blintzes or pancakes, rolled up crepes. IC pilot is prudent. letter I, letter C is prudent. So I think it's ICPILOT. No. Succeed with student, do A, etc. Student, do A, or do A, etc. Blank Williams, Calmer, tennis star. So I think this is Serena. Maybe it's Serena, which is calmer, and Serena Williams sounds like Serena if you're saying it in a New York accent. Okay, I think that's right. Just a guess. Debtor's favorite poem. Ode is a kind of poem, and it sounds like OWED, what a debtor used to do. So if they owed, they're not a debtor anymore, so that's why they like it, I guess. Wait a minute, what was this? This is Ted's predecessor is Gil. I figured out this one. Ted's predecessor is Gil. BLAS. Dang. I wish I hadn't been reminded by this clue that I still haven't figured out this one. BLAS. Is that the Blas? I don't even see these letters in here. Deposed, emulate, tussles, and Brady. I like all of those. Okay, if I have something wrong, it's going to be this, because I don't understand how that goes in. Ted's predecessor could be Blas. Blas Ted. So I get Blas as Ted's predecessor. So that does give me a little confidence that it's correct. I don't understand the is Gil. Is Blas like some kind of term for a fish's gill? I don't know that. I wouldn't even think that could be correct. Okay, here's Ted's predecessor is hard to see. So here it's blur. Hard to see is a blur. And you could put blur before Ted to make the word blurted. 46 down, alter ego of Celia. Celia. Who is Celia? Alice is an anagram of Celia. And that's another name that could be an alter ego. In Aran, it does not flow. I feel like an intermittent stream. I think we're anagramming INARRAN. Raining? Or, I don't know. 39 down, Tangier rock. Or tangier rock. Or is it a tangerine? Is it a rock that is more tangy? Tangier is the city in Morocco, right? Or Algeria. I'm not sure. Tangerine, she is all they claim, with her eyes of night and lips as bright as flame. So if this is ARP, for heavenly instrument, and I'm only guessing that because of the missing H from heavenly. Blank Flynn, Seaman. Politic can mean prudent. You're very politic in your pronouncements. You're careful. You're tactful. Educate can be do a etc. Can make educate, which would be succeed with a student. It does not flow. We got NATI. ARRA or ARR. Raritan does not flow. Okay, so this might be a rock, an ore. Granite. Granite is a rock that is an anagram of Tangier or Tangier. Icebergs. Scribe EG gives us icebergs, and icebergs have tips. He may see the perils of joining. A splicer would be somebody who joins things together. I can see we got C, the letter C and perils could give us splicer. So he may, it's kind of like he may be joining. And we're taking C, the letter C, perils, to make splicer. I'm going to try ARP. I'm not quite sure I'm getting it other than it's just it's missing an H the same way an Evenly instrument is. So raritan is not a word I know. There is an Arl C. Maybe there is somebody named Arl Flynn. Or does it sound like Errol Flynn, the Errol C? I would say Arl, but it could be pronounced Errol. So I think this is a pun on Errol Flynn, the actor. He is a C-man. He is the Errol C. And I think R finishes. Let's try it. We did it. 40 minutes. That was very difficult. I can see how this would be very addictive, though. I like watching videos on Cracking the Cryptic and other channels of people solving cryptic crosswords because I can't do it myself, but as they explain what they're doing and they put in the answers, I can see how they got there, and I can see how satisfying that would be to, if I were able to do that, it would be very fun. So this is a little bit more closer to an American-style crossword puzzle. I'm still not quite sure I'm understanding like the informal vocabulary and the conventions, but because we have crossing letters, checking letters for each entry, there is no square in here that doesn't have at least one other square connecting to it. So it's a lot easier to kind of guess what the word is, and then you can reverse engineer from the wordplay what might be going on. So the first one I was able to solve with no hints, but it was a lot faster, probably only 25 minutes. This may be a more difficult puzzle. I may try the third one, which was embedded in this article, and see how that one goes. All right, but let me know if you know a source for puzzles like this that are kind of like cryptics, but a little bit easier. Please let me know in the comments, because I'd really like to do more puzzles like this. Okay, thanks so much for joining me. Please come back for more puzzles and games, and I'll see you next time.